Hey guys, Ryan here. The whole purpose of today's video is so I can talk about what's in my eyes the single most important setting to change if you actually want to have good aim for controller players. We're going to get right into it, and the setting that we're going to talk about is going to be what aim response curve are you using. This setting pretty much changes the entire way that you aim because it literally changes the way the game reads your right stick input. So let's explain how to get there. You're gonna go to the controller section, and it's not gonna be by all of the other important settings like sensitivity and all of that. You have to go over to the advanced section and then scroll down, and it's gonna be pretty close to the top. It's gonna be right here, the aim response curve type. Now yours is gonna be defaulted to standard, and that's what most people use, and this is the worst one in my opinion. And let me explain why that is. When you have it on standard, how far you look, your whole aim, that's dependent on how fast you move your joystick. In my eyes, this makes it really difficult to build up muscle memory for your aim, and that's why I don't recommend standard. The next option is going to be linear, and this is one of the two settings I'd recommend using. Linear works in the way that it just simply takes what you put in and it puts it out at a 1-to-1 input ratio regardless of how fast you move your joystick. If you move your joystick, let's say hypothetically 75% to the right, you're going to move that far. It doesn't matter how fast you do it, it just matters if you move it that much. On the flip side, it's not actually a true 1-to-1 ratio. It does have a little aim acceleration, it's just really not that much. But to me, I like it because this allows me to build up muscle memory, and that's why it's my preferred aim response curve setting. Now, the third setting I'm going to talk about is the other one I'm going to really recommend, and that's dynamic. So dynamic works the inverse of standard. When you start to ramp up, if you were to completely just take your joystick on the right joystick and ramp it to the right all the way, you'd have a kind of standard effect where you'd spin around really quickly. However, if you're trying to find aim, it's a lot more like linear. You have a lot more control. It's a lot easier to control the gun and find aim situations. It's a lot easier to control the gun up close at long ranges, and it's pretty much superior to standard in every way. However, for me, I'm really gonna recommend linear, and I want you to understand why this is. So the main thing you have to understand about aim that a lot of people don't understand is aim is entirely muscle memory based. When I'm playing Call of Duty, when someone's shooting me in the back and I do a 180 turn on them and I completely destroy them, you know how I'm able to do that? Because I've spent so many hours using the same sensitivity, using the same overall setup, and I understand how to do it because I have that muscle memory. So when I'm in gunfights, I'm not even thinking about it. It is just pure muscle memory, and it's not that you can't build muscle memory on dynamic or standard. It's just that it's so much easier to build your muscle memory on linear, and if you're someone like myself who doesn't have the opportunity to play for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, because I have work, I have other stuff that I do, I make these videos, blah blah blah, but if you're someone like that, then this is why linear is better, because you can make up the ground in terms of muscle memory a lot easier. You can learn to use aim assist a lot easier because you have good aim fundamentals, and you can build up muscle memory a lot easier because that's just how linear works. I can almost guarantee a lot of people right now are going to be saying something like, but dude, a lot of the pros use dynamic, so shouldn't I? And listen, they play for a living. They do this for a living. If you had the ability to play this game for 40 hours in a week, then you could play whatever aim response curve you want because you would build up enough muscle memory from just playing that much. Like, it really wouldn't matter. But if you're someone who has limited time, you work, you have kids, maybe you have a girlfriend, maybe you have a wife, whatever, a job, sports, at school, anything, you can't play 40 hours a week because that's ridiculous. That's a full-time job, and that's most people. And this is where I really recommend linear, because it's the only aim response curve that I feel like is directly made to help people build muscle memory, and that's why I think it's so important and why I'm talking about it so much. I do have to warn though, linear can be very difficult to adjust to if you've had your aim response curve on standard. What you don't realize when playing on standard is you're naturally applying a lot less pressure. You're going slower on the joystick, so it moves slower to compensate for the whole aim response curve thing. So when it's on standard, the faster you move it, the faster it goes. So if you're trying to hit someone with fine aiming, you can't have that. So what you experience when you're playing linear is you either over aim or you under aim, and this isn't good because you're just not going to be hitting shots. It's going to feel terrible. But you have to understand that this is temporary. It's going to feel uncomfortable for a little bit. It's not going to feel enjoyable. You're going to miss shots. But if you give it 2-3 weeks, I know that's a long time, and it's probably not going to take that long. But I promise, if you give it 2-3 weeks, you're not even going to notice the linear. You're not even going to notice it. You're just going to notice your aim getting better. You're going to be hitting a lot more shots, and you're going to feel a lot better about yourself and a lot more confident in gunfights. I'm not making this up. Aiming is not easy in this game. Okay, it actually kind of is because of how strong aim assist. I don't want to really kind of blur those lines there. But there are types of aiming on a controller that are not easy. When you have to 180 turn on someone, when you have to actually track someone who's falling super fast, or if they have good movement because of their jump shot ability or whatnot, then you have to be kind of good at the game. And you need to learn that muscle memory. You need to practice. You need to get more used to it because it's super, super important if you actually want to be a decent player. And I imagine if you're watching a video like this, that describes you to a T. And if you do enjoy this type of video and you did watch up until this point, maybe do consider subscribing if you aren't already. And, maybe consider leaving a like. I really don't ask for likes and subscriptions and all of that. And if I do, it's at the end of videos. But, if you want to get better, I want to help you get better. And I put a lot of passion and time into these videos because I really care about helping people get better. And so that's the whole point of that. Anyways, guys, I just want to say thank you for watching this video. I do hope you understand what I was trying to say about linear and the million times I said muscle memory and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, it's been Ryan. I hope you have a good day. Peace.